Restlessness is something we all know well. It can appear when we sit down quietly, or when we try to sleep, or even while we are with people we love. It is that feeling of not being comfortable in the present moment, as if the mind is looking for something else. Sometimes it feels like a small vibration inside the chest, or like ants crawling under the skin. Other times, it is more mental, a constant jumping from one thought to another, never able to stay still. When restlessness comes, many people try to push it away. We turn on the television, pick up the phone, eat something, or look for a new distraction. For a short time, these things may help, but soon the same uneasy feeling returns. This shows us that running away from restlessness is not the answer. Restlessness is like a guest knocking at the door. If we never open, the knocking will not stop. To understand restlessness, we first accept that it is a natural part of being human. It is not a mistake or a personal failure. It is simply one of the many states that pass through the mind and body. The more we think I should not feel this way, the stronger it becomes. But when we recognize, this is restlessness, we begin to see it more clearly, without fear. Understanding restlessness does not mean we must love it, or that we must make it stay. It means we stop fighting against it. Like watching clouds move across the sky, we allow it to be what it is. Only then do we start to see that restlessness is not solid or permanent. It is a visitor that comes and goes, and we can learn to sit with it gently. When restlessness rises, the mind often feels like a wild horse, pulling us in many directions. To calm this movement, it is helpful to come back to the body. The body is always here, in this very moment, and it does not run away like thoughts do. By gently bringing our attention to the body, we create a place of stability where restlessness can be seen more clearly. You might notice the weight of your body sitting on the chair, or the contact of your feet on the ground. These simple sensations are not exciting, but they are real and steady. When you stay with them, you start to feel anchored, as if the storm of the mind is balanced by the earth under you. Sometimes, when we are restless, the body also feels tight or heavy. There may be pressure in the chest, a knot in the stomach, or a tension in the shoulders. Instead of trying to remove these sensations, we can allow ourselves to notice them with gentleness. We are not trying to fix the body, but simply to stay present with it. The body becomes like a trusted friend, reminding us that we are safe in this moment. As the body becomes our place of awareness, restlessness begins to lose some of its power. It is no longer the only thing we feel. Alongside the unease, we also feel the ground, the breath, the warmth of the skin. Slowly, we realize that we can hold both restlessness and calm at the same time. This balance does not remove restlessness completely, but it helps us sit with it without being overwhelmed. In this way, the body guides us back to a more peaceful presence. When the body feels unsettled, the breath can become our gentle companion. Restlessness often makes the breath short and quick, as if the body is preparing to run. But we do not need to escape. Instead, we can notice the natural rhythm of breathing, just as it is. In and out, rising and falling, the breath is always here with us. To sit with restlessness, we do not need to control the breath or make it deep. We only need to notice it. Feel how the air enters the nose, how the chest or belly moves with each breath, and how the body softens when air leaves again. These small details give the mind a simple and steady place to rest. Uneasy feelings may still move within us, but the breath teaches us something important. Every in-breath comes and goes. Every out-breath comes and goes. In the same way, every feeling of restlessness also comes and goes. Nothing stays forever. The breath becomes a quiet teacher of patience and trust. Sometimes, When the uneasy feelings are strong, breathing with them may feel difficult. In such moments, it is enough to simply say inside, breathing in, I know I am here. Breathing out, I allow this moment to be. This simple way of noticing can soften the struggle. We are not pushing away restlessness, and we are not holding it tightly. We are breathing with it, like sitting beside a restless friend, without judgment. As we continue, the breath may begin to feel smoother, more balanced. Even if the restlessness remains, we are less shaken by it. We see that the breath and the uneasy feelings can live together, and that we can be steady in the middle of them. This is how breathing helps us stay close to ourselves, even when the mind is restless. Restlessness often shows itself through a stream of thoughts. One moment we think of the past, then suddenly of the future, then of something completely different. The mind can feel like a busy marketplace, full of voices calling for attention. When we try to force the mind to stop, it only becomes louder. The secret is not to fight the thoughts, but to watch them with gentleness. Imagine sitting beside a flowing river. Thoughts are like leaves carried by the current. Some are small and light, others are heavy and dark. But all of them pass by. You do not need to jump in the water and chase them. You only sit on the bank and watch them move. In this way, you begin to see that thoughts come and go on their own. When a restless thought appears, we can quietly say inside, "This is just a thought." By naming it, we create a little space between ourselves and the thought. We do not have to believe every idea that enters the mind. We do not need to follow every story it tells. Thoughts are simply visitors, like clouds moving across the wide sky. This gentle observation does not mean we must stop thinking. Thoughts will always come. But as we learn to watch them, they lose their power to control us. Restlessness often feeds on the habit of chasing one thought after another. When we watch, instead of chasing, the chain begins to break. Over time, observing thoughts becomes like listening to distant music. It is there, but it does not disturb us. The noise of the mind softens, and within that softening, we discover a deeper quiet that was always present. When restlessness grows strong, it often feels like there is no space inside us. The body feels tight, the mind feels crowded, and the heart feels unsettled. Everything seems too close, pressing in from every side. In these moments, the practice is to create space even in the middle of tension. This does not mean running away from the feeling. It means giving the restlessness room to exist without crushing us. Imagine holding a small stone in your hand. If you close your fist tightly, the stone feels heavy and painful. But if you open your hand, the stone is still there, yet it no longer hurts. In the same way, when we open the space around our tension, it feels lighter. One way to create space is through simple awareness of the area around the body. Instead of only focusing on the knot in the stomach or the tightness in the chest, notice the air touching your skin, the ground supporting your feet, or the openness of the room around you. Restlessness may be present, but it is not the whole story. There is always more space than discomfort. As we give this space, restlessness begins to loosen its grip. The body breathes more freely, the mind feels less crowded, and the heart softens. We realize that tension is only one part of our experience, not the entire truth. Creating space in the midst of tension is not about escaping what we feel. It is about widening the field so that restlessness is just one guest in a much larger house. In that larger house, there is also calm, strength, and openness. When we remember this, restlessness becomes easier to sit with because it no longer fills the whole room of our being. Restlessness often makes us feel that something must change right away. We want quick answers, quick comfort, quick peace. But the truth is that inner calm grows slowly, like a tree. It does not appear in an instant. It needs patience. Without patience, we become frustrated, and that frustration only adds more restlessness to the mind. Patience is not the same as waiting with irritation. It is a gentle trust that things unfold in their own time. When we sit with restlessness, patience says, "It is all right that this is here. It will pass when it is ready." Just as the seasons change without our control, restless feelings also come and go. Patience allows us to stay steady in the middle of these changes. Think of a gardener planting seeds. He does not shout at the soil to make the plants grow faster. He waters the seeds, gives them sunlight, and waits. In the same way, patience is the soil in which calmness can grow. When we allow time, the restless mind slowly softens, just as young plants slowly reach toward the light. At first, patience may feel weak or passive, but it is in fact a great strength. It gives us the power to remain present without forcing anything. Each time restlessness rises, we can remind ourselves, this too will pass. And when it passes, we are still here, more steady than before. By practicing patience, we discover that calm is not something we must chase. It comes naturally when we stop rushing. In this way, patience is not only a tool for dealing with restlessness, it is the very ground on which inner peace can stand. Restlessness can feel like constant movement inside us. The mind runs in circles, the body shifts, and the heart beats quickly. It may seem that everything is noise without any peace at all. But even in the middle of movement, there is always a deeper layer of stillness. To sit with restlessness is also to listen for that silence beneath the noise. Think of a busy street with cars and people moving in every direction. At first it seems full of sound, but if you stop and listen carefully, you can also hear something else. You may notice the pause between footsteps, the brief quiet between passing cars, or the space in the air around the noise. Silence is never completely absent. It is hidden within the activity. In the same way, inside restlessness, there are small spaces of quiet, a moment between one thought and the next, a short pause at the end of each breath, a soft stillness in the body when it is not shifting. These are like windows opening to the silence that is always here. When we pay attention to these small gaps, we begin to see that silence is not far away. It does not need to be created. It is already present, waiting for us to notice. The restless movements of mind and body rise and fall within a larger field of stillness, just as waves rise and fall within the sea. By listening to the silence beneath movement, we learn that restlessness is not the whole truth. Beneath its surface, there is a quiet foundation that never leaves us. Remembering this can bring a sense of comfort. Even when the mind is noisy, silence is always here, steady and unbroken. When restlessness appears, it often tells us that something is missing. The mind says we must do more, go somewhere else, or become someone different. But the truth is that joy does not always come from chasing after new experiences. Sometimes, the deepest joy is found in the simple act of being present, right where we are. Being present does not mean we must feel perfect peace or happiness at every moment. It only means we are here, awake to this breath, this body, this moment. Even when restlessness is here, we can notice the small details of life unfolding around us. The warmth of sunlight on the skin, the sound of a bird outside the window, the quiet rhythm of the breath. These simple things remind us that life is already complete in this very second. At first, this kind of joy feels small, almost hidden. It is not the excitement of a big success or the thrill of a new event. It is more gentle, more quiet, like a candle glowing softly in the dark. But the more we notice it, the more steady and reliable it becomes. This subtle joy does not disappear when circumstances change, because it is not built on conditions. It is always available, as long as we are here, in the present. Restlessness loses some of its urgency when we touch this joy. The need to escape or to hurry fades a little, and we see that even in the middle of unease, there is something beautiful. To simply be present is already a gift, and in that presence, a soft joy rises naturally, reminding us that life itself is enough. Restlessness often grows when we believe we must choose between two extremes. On one side is complete stillness, as if we must sit without moving or thinking. On the other side is endless activity, running from one task to the next without pause. Neither extreme brings peace. True balance is found in the gentle movement between stillness and action. Stillness is important because it allows us to see clearly. When we stop for a moment, we notice what is happening inside us and around us. We discover the patterns of restlessness and understand them better. But if we try to hold on to stillness too tightly, it can become heavy, even uncomfortable. Life is not meant to be frozen. Action is also important because it connects us with the world. Simple actions, walking slowly, washing the dishes, speaking kindly, give restlessness a channel to move through. They remind us that life continues with each small step. But if we run into action without awareness, we may only add more noise to the mind. Balance comes when we allow both stillness and action to support each other. We rest enough to see clearly, and we act enough to stay connected. Like the rhythm of breathing, inhale and exhale, stillness and action work together. Neither is complete without the other. When we find this balance, restlessness no longer pushes us around so strongly. We can sit in quiet without fear, and we can move in life without losing ourselves. This balance is not fixed. It shifts from moment to moment. But by listening carefully, we learn how to walk the middle path, where restlessness becomes lighter and peace becomes more natural. Restlessness is a part of every human life. No one escapes it, and yet no one needs to be defeated by it. Through these reflections, we have seen that restlessness is not an enemy, but a visitor. It comes, it stirs, and it passes. By meeting it with openness, we discover a strength within ourselves that is calm, patient, and alive. Each moment of restlessness is also an invitation. It asks us to stop running, to return to the body, to breathe, to notice our thoughts, and to make space in the middle of tension. It reminds us to practice patience, to listen to the silence beneath movement, to find joy in the simple act of being present, and to walk gently between stillness and action. These are not complicated steps, but simple ways of living with more peace. May these words support you whenever you feel uneasy. May they remind you that peace is never far away, even in restless times. The ability to sit with restlessness is a gift you can offer yourself again and again. Before we close, I wish to express my deep gratitude to all of you. Thank you for listening with an open heart. Thank you also for your kind support through likes, subscriptions, comments, super thanks, and membership. Each gesture of kindness helps this space continue, and I hold great appreciation for it. May you carry these reflections into your daily life, and may restlessness, when it comes, become not a burden, but a gentle teacher leading you back to the quiet truth already within you.